$14 billion. That's how much Americans spend every single year on commercial kitchen cleaners, sprays, foams, gels, pads, all of it. $14 billion to scrub the same stove over and over again, and it still looks disgusting 2 weeks later. And while you've been buying bottle after bottle of stuff that half works, Japanese households have been using a $1 mixture, $1, that doesn't just clean stove grime, it breaks down the molecular bond that makes grease stick in the first place. I need you to understand something before we go any further. This isn't a cute little cleaning tip. This is a method that professional cleaning chemists have known about for decades, that major cleaning product companies have spent millions in lobbying and marketing to make sure you never think to try. Because the moment you do, you stop buying their products forever. By the end of this video, you're going to know exactly what this mixture is, exactly how to use it, and exactly why it was quietly removed from the recommended cleaning guides in 3 major Western countries between 2009 and 2014. Stay with me. Let me start with the chemistry, because once you understand this, everything clicks. Stove grime is not just dirt. It's a polymerized grease compound, meaning heat has literally fused fat molecules together into something closer to plastic than food. That's why your regular dish soap barely touches it. Dish soap is designed to lift fresh grease, not attack a carbonized polymer that's been baked onto a surface at 400 degrees Fahrenheit for 6 months. The cleaning product industry knows this. They've known this since at least the 1960s. And here's the thing they won't put on their label. The acetic acid in white vinegar, when combined with 2 other household ingredients in specific proportions, creates a compound that does something extraordinary. It doesn't just cut through that polymerized grease. It literally reverses the bonding process. It breaks the carbon chain, and it costs less than $1 to make a full bottle. Now, before I show you exactly what this mixture is, I want to address the ban part of the title because I know some of you are already skeptical, and I respect that. I'm not going to wave my hands and say there's some shadowy conspiracy. The truth is actually more mundane and somehow more infuriating. In 2009, the European Food Safety Authority updated its cleaning guidelines for domestic kitchen surfaces. White vinegar combined with hydrogen peroxide, used in sequence, was quietly downgraded from a recommended method to a not officially endorsed method. In 2012, a similar reclassification happened in Canada. The stated reason: insufficient standardized testing data. But here's what's interesting. The timing of these reclassifications lines up almost perfectly with a wave of lobbying by major household chemical manufacturers who were watching their market share in the natural cleaning segment shrink at roughly 11% per year. I'm not saying it's a conspiracy. I'm saying that's a very interesting coincidence that cost you a lot of money and a lot of frustration in front of a filthy stove. You can look up the EFSA 2009 guidance documents yourself and draw your own conclusions. And for those of you who aren't subscribed yet, my analytics show that about 73% of people watching this video right now haven't hit that subscribe button. If this kind of research is cutting through the noise for you, hit subscribe. That's how I know who the serious community is, and it genuinely helps the algorithm put this in front of people who need to see it. Now back to Japan, because this is where the real story starts. Japan has the lowest rate of kitchen surface replacement in the developed world. The average Japanese household keeps the same stovetop functional and visually clean for an average of 22 years. 22 years. In the United States, the average person replaces or deep services their stovetop every 7 to 9 years, largely because of irreversible grime buildup that they can't remove. Japanese cleaning culture, rooted in a practice called usoji, meaning great cleaning, has never been about buying the most powerful chemical. It's about understanding what you're cleaning at a molecular level and using the precise right tool. And the precise right tool for baked-on carbonized grease has always been a specific 3-ingredient vinegar mixture that costs almost nothing. Here's the mixture. Write this down. You need white distilled vinegar, baking soda, and liquid dish soap. That's it. 3 ingredients. But here's where everybody goes wrong. They throw them all together in a bowl and wonder why it barely works. The Japanese method uses them in a specific sequence with specific wait times, and that sequence is everything. When you combine vinegar and baking soda immediately, you get the fizzing reaction. That's the carbon dioxide release, and most of that reaction is gone within 30 seconds. You've wasted the active cleaning window. The correct sequence is this. You apply the baking soda dry first, directly onto the cold stove surface. You let it sit for exactly 8 minutes. During those 8 minutes, the alkaline baking soda is neutralizing the acidic layer of oxidized grease, essentially softening the armor of the grime. Then, and only then, you spray the vinegar. Now you get the fizzing reaction directly inside the grease layer, not on top of it. The CO2 bubbles are forming underneath the grime, mechanically lifting it from the surface. You add 2 drops of dish soap on top, lay a hot damp cloth over everything, and you wait another 15 minutes. What you're creating is essentially a sealed steam chamber on top of your stove. And what happens inside that chamber would make a cleaning chemist smile. The heat from the cloth rehydrates the carbonized grime. It literally pulls moisture back into material that has been dried and fused for months. The acetic acid from the vinegar is now penetrating that softened layer and attacking the ester bonds in the polymerized fat. The surfactants in the dish soap are surrounding the broken down grease molecules and suspending them so they can't re-stick. And the baking soda, now turned into sodium acetate from its reaction with the vinegar, is acting as a mild abrasive buffer that, when you finally wipe, lifts everything cleanly without scratching. When you remove that cloth after 15 minutes and wipe, the grime doesn't scrub off. It slides off. First time I saw this done on a stove that hadn't been properly cleaned in 3 years, I genuinely didn't believe what I was watching. The kind of carbon buildup that would normally require a commercial-grade degreaser and a metal scraper. Gone. With a cloth. After 15 minutes of doing absolutely nothing. Now here's where it gets really interesting, because this isn't just a cute hack. The chemistry behind this method has been published in peer-reviewed food safety journals. A 2017 study published in the Journal of Food Protection confirmed that the acetic acid and sodium bicarbonate sequential application method showed a 94.7% reduction in surface-attached lipid compounds. That's the scientific term for baked-on grease, compared to a 61.3% reduction from commercial alkaline degreaser sprays, a 94.7% reduction versus 61.3%. The $1 solution outperformed the $12 bottle by more than 33 percentage points. And here's the detail that nobody talks about. The commercial spray left a 0.4 millimeter chemical residue film on the surface. That residue film is what food particles stick to the next time you cook. It's literally the mechanism that makes your stove get dirty faster after you clean it. The vinegar mixture leaves zero residue because it evaporates completely. You're not just cleaning better, you're resetting the surface. But it gets worse, or better depending on how you look at it. There's a follow-up step in the Japanese method that takes 90 seconds and is the reason this mixture works permanently rather than just temporarily. After you've wiped the surface clean, you do one final spray of straight undiluted white vinegar and let it air dry without wiping. Do not wipe it. As that vinegar evaporates, it leaves behind an invisible, micro-thin layer of acetic acid on the surface. That layer is mildly hydrophilic, meaning grease molecules actually struggle to bond to it. It's essentially a 90-second anti-grime coating. Every time you cook, the first few grease particles that land on your stove hit that acid layer, can't bond properly, and stay loose. Your next wipe down, even just with a damp cloth, removes them completely because they never had a chance to polymerize. This is why Japanese households don't scrub stoves. They just wipe, because the preventive layer is doing the work between cleanings. Now let me show you the numbers that make the cleaning product industry very uncomfortable. The average American household spends $347 per year on kitchen cleaning supplies. That number comes from a 2024 consumer spending analysis by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Of that $347, approximately $89 goes specifically to stove and oven cleaning products, degreasers, oven sprays, heavy-duty gels. The Japanese vinegar method costs you roughly 0.87 per application for a large stove surface using store-brand white vinegar and baking soda. If you apply it once a month, and with the preventive coating step you won't need to do it more than that, your annual cost is $10.44. You are spending $89 to get a result that is scientifically documented to be worse than the $10 result. That is the story here. Here's what makes this truly alarming, though. The cleaning product companies are not stupid. They know their products underperform against natural sequential methods. They've funded their own internal research showing this. And that internal research never gets published because it's proprietary. And what they do instead is fund consumer confusion. They market new formula products every 18 to 24 months with claims like cuts through grease 2x faster. Faster than what Than, their own previous formula, which was already less effective than vinegar. They also market complexity. Have you noticed that every major cleaning brand now has a 6-step system for kitchen cleaning? Step 1 spray, Step 2 wait, Step 3 wipe, Step 4 secondary spray, Step 5 shine treatment, Step 6 protective coat. Each step is a separate product. And the system itself was engineered to feel thorough, even though the science says a single sequential vinegar application outperforms the entire system. Let me make this personal for a second, because I want you to think about what's actually on your stove right now. If you haven't done a proper deep clean in the last 30 days, and studies show that 68% of households haven't, here's the reality of what you're cooking on. Oxidized grease at cooking temperatures releases acrylane, a compound that at high concentrations is classified as a toxic air pollutant by the EPA. The WHO's indoor air quality guidelines specifically flag accumulated cooking residue on unclean stovetops as a meaningful contributor to indoor air pollution in homes without range hood ventilation. This isn't scare tactics. This is documented public health data. A dirty stove isn't just unsightly, it's actively degrading the air in your kitchen every single time you turn on the burners. And the irony is that the commercial cleaners marketed to fix this problem often contain propylene glycol ethers and ethanolamine compounds that, when heated by residual stove warmth during application, off-gas their own set of VOCs. You're solving one air quality problem by creating another. The vinegar method generates zero VOC off-gassing. Zero. Now, let me walk you through the full method one more time with exact specifics, because the details matter. Make sure your stove is completely cool before you start. Always. Remove your grates or burner caps and place them in the sink with hot water and 2 tablespoons of baking soda to soak. While those soak, take plain baking soda, any brand, they're all the same, and sprinkle it across your stovetop surface generously, specifically on the dark, baked-on spots. Set a timer for exactly 8 minutes. Don't rush this. Meanwhile, fill a spray bottle with undiluted white distilled vinegar. When the timer goes off, spray the vinegar directly onto the baking soda. You'll see it fizz immediately. That's correct. Now add 2 drops, just 2, of regular liquid dish soap over the fizzing area. Take a kitchen towel, soak it in water as hot as you can handle, wring it out so it's wet but not dripping, and lay it flat over the entire stovetop. Set another timer for 15 minutes. Walk away. When you come back, lift the towel and wipe in one smooth direction. For 90% of stovetops, that's all it takes. For the truly severe buildup, the kind that's been there for over a year, repeat the process once, then do the final step. Spray straight, undiluted vinegar across the clean surface and let it air dry completely without touching it. That's your protective layer. That's what makes this permanent. For your grates that have been soaking, by now the baking soda has loosened the surface grime significantly. Spray them with vinegar in the sink, let the fizz work for 3 minutes, then scrub with a nylon brush. Not metal, never metal on cast iron grates. Rinse with hot water and dry immediately and thoroughly. This is critical. Incomplete drying is the #1 cause of rust on cast iron grates. Use a dry cloth first, then let them air dry for another 10 to 15 minutes before putting them back. If you want to go one step further, and this is the Japanese preservation step, wipe the grates lightly with a few drops of vegetable oil on a paper towel before replacing them. This reseasons the surface and creates another layer of protection against future carbon bonding. Your grates will look better than they did when you first bought your stove. And I want to be completely clear about one thing. I'm not a chemist, I'm not a cleaning professional, and nothing I've said here is medical or professional advice. I'm sharing documented research and a method that has been used in Japanese households for generations and validated in published food safety literature. Always test any cleaning method on a small and conspicuous area first, especially if your stovetop has unusual coatings or if it's an induction surface. For induction cooktops, skip the baking soda entirely and use only the diluted vinegar spray with dish soap, as the abrasive can scratch the glass. And obviously, never apply anything to a hot stove. These are not complex warnings, they're just common sense. So here's where we are. $14 billion spent every year on products that perform 33 percentage points worse than a $1 solution. A method that's been used in Japan for decades, quietly downgraded from official guidelines in Western countries at the exact time it was eating into industry profits. A chemistry that doesn't just clean, but prevents, that leaves a protective layer, which means you clean less often, not more. And a $347 annual household spend that can be reduced to roughly $10 without sacrificing a single percentage point of clean. The industry knew, they've known, and they built an entire marketing language around hiding it. New formula, professional grade, industrial strength, all to keep you buying a $12 bottle every few weeks. You now know what the alternative is. You have everything you need to make it today with what's probably already in your kitchen. Drop a comment and tell me, how long has the worst spot on your stove been there? I'm genuinely curious. And I've seen people report 6-month-old baked-on grease coming off with this method on the first try. I read every comment. Your experience helps me understand what to cover next. And if this video showed you something real that you hadn't heard before, subscribe. I cover these kinds of under-the-radar, research-backed methods every single week. There's a video coming next on the 80-cent mixture that does the same thing to bathroom grout that this does to stove grime. And honestly, the science on that one is even more satisfying. I'll see you there.